How to reduce anxiety right here, right now? There are many ways to manage anxiety symptoms in the moment, whether you're feeling anxious about doing something or you live with an anxiety disorder. If you need to calm down immediately, you can do so by following a few simple exercises. Some of these strategies may feel difficult the first few times you try them, but with some practice, they can offer a quick path to mental peace and relief from your feelings of anxiety. How to calm down quickly. Something sets you off, and before long, you feel stuck in an endless loop of intrusive thoughts, pondering every possible thing that could go wrong. Your body tenses, your breathing quickens, and you can hear your heartbeat pounding in your ears. When you feel anxiety kick in like this, it's time to calm yourself down. The first step is awareness. It's a good idea to learn to recognize the first signs of anxiety and get to work right away before experiencing an episode. Breathe. One of the best things you can do when you start to feel that familiar panicky feeling is to breathe. It may sound basic, but basic is great when managing anxiety symptoms. Breathing deeply and slowly is key to experiencing the full benefits of it. It's also a good idea to focus your thoughts on breathing and nothing else. When we draw our attention to our breathing and really focus on it, the thoughts that trigger the anxiety start to become more distant, our heart rate slows, and we start to calm. Explains Dawn Straighten, doctor of nursing practice and faculty member of Walden University. Some people find 4-7-8 breathing particularly effective. Breathe in for 4 seconds. Hold your breath for 7 seconds. Exhale slowly for 8 seconds. Repeat until you feel calmer.
Name what you're feeling. When you're experiencing an anxious episode, you may not realize what's going on until you're really in the thick of it. Recognizing anxiety for what it is may help you calm down quicker. Name that this is anxiety, not reality, and that it will pass, says Kim Hertz, a psychotherapist at New York Therapy Practice. When you are in a heightened state of anxiety, you want to disrupt that cycle, and for some people, thought-stopping techniques are effective and as simple as saying stop to the internalized messaging that heightens anxiety. In other words, consider recognizing that what you're feeling is anxiety and talking yourself through it. Embrace absolute truths, says Stephen Sultanoff, clinical psychologist and professor at Pepperdine University. I will get through this, one way or another. Naming your sensations and feelings may help you step away from them. This is anxiety, it is not you and it won't last forever. Try the 5-4-3-2-1 coping technique. When you're overwhelmed with anxiety, the 5-4-3-2-1 coping technique could help calm your thoughts down. Here's how it works. 5. Look around the room, then name 5 things you see around you. These can be objects, spots on the wall, or a bird flying outside. The key is to count down those 5 things. 4. Next, name 4 things you can touch. This can be the ground beneath your feet, the chair you're sitting in, or your hair that you run your fingers through. 3. Listen quietly, then acknowledge 3 things you can hear. These can be external sounds, like a fan in the room, or internal sounds, like the sound of your breathing. 2. Note 2 things you can smell. Maybe that's the perfume you're wearing or the pencil you're holding. 1. Notice something you can taste inside your mouth. Maybe that's the lip gloss you're wearing. This technique works best if you pair it with deep, slow breathing.
Try the File It mind exercise. The File It technique works particularly well if you're lying awake at night thinking of all the things you have to do or haven't done, or if you're rehashing something that happened during the day. These are the steps for performing this exercise. 1. Close your eyes and imagine a table with file folders and a file cabinet on it. 2. Imagine yourself picking up each file and writing down the name of a thought that's racing through your mind. For example, the fight you had with your spouse, the presentation you have to give tomorrow at work, or the fear you have of getting sick with any sickness. 3. Once the name is on the file, take a moment to acknowledge the thought and how important it is to you. Then, file it away. 4. Repeat this process with every thought that pops into your head until you start to feel calmer or sleepy. The idea with this exercise is that you're taking a moment to name your triggers, examine them, and then consciously put them aside with a deadline to tackle them later. In other words, you're validating your own feelings and making a plan to deal with them one by one when it's a better time. Run. A quick burst of exercise that increases your heart rate is helpful at reducing anxiety, explains Patricia Seelan, a postgraduate psychiatry resident at Dalhousie University in Canada. A 5-minute, high-speed run around the block would be enough to help you reduce anxiety quickly, says Seelan. Of course, you could run for a longer time if that's something you enjoy. If running is not your thing, you could try walking fast for 1 minute and then jogging for 1 minute until you reach 5 minutes total. The key is to increase your heart rate with exercise. It's also important not to forget your breathing. While you run, consider focusing on how you're breathing. If you live with an anxiety disorder, your amygdala is working overtime. Every time you perceive a threatening trigger, this information is sent to your amygdala. If you have anxiety, you may deal with a lot of triggers. Every time the amygdala senses a threat, it tells the body to fight, flee, or freeze. This is a natural physiological reaction that allows you to respond to the perceived threat. If your reaction to this message is to run, you might trick your mind into thinking it's doing something practical to keep you safe. Then, it may lower the state of alert and reduce your anxiety in the moment.
Think about something funny. Visualize your favorite humorous moments, says Sultanov. One where you laughed so hard you fell down and peed your pants. These can be real situations, or they can be situations you saw on sitcoms, in stories, jokes, or cartoons. If it's difficult for you to come up with something in the moment, try picking a couple of memories ahead of time so you can go to them as soon as you start experiencing anxiety. Like most mindfulness training, humor visualization takes you out of worrying about things that might happen in the future and focuses you back in your present circumstances, in the now. It does a few other things too. You experience mirth, which is the uplifting reaction to humor, explains Sultanov. You feel emotions such as joy, pleasure, or delight, all powerful emotions that can help you reduce anxiety quickly. And if you're able to make yourself laugh by remembering that funny moment, he says, humor visualization is even more effective. When you laugh, you contract and expand muscles, which reduces physical anxiety, stress, and tension, he says. Laughter also combats the production of cortisol levels in the body, he adds. Distract yourself. If nothing seems to be working to pull your focus from your anxious thoughts, maybe it's time to find a temporary distraction. For example, if you're lying in bed, wide awake, obsessing about what tomorrow will bring and deep breathing and other techniques aren't working, get up and leave your bedroom and find a distraction in another room. Focusing on something you really enjoy can break the cycle of anxious thoughts and give you some relief, at least until you're in a better frame of mind to tackle those thoughts. What that distraction is, however, varies from person to person. The idea is to find something relaxing, pleasurable, or mindless to pull your focus from your thoughts. For example, some people find doing the dishes or cleaning their house to be a good distraction. It makes them feel active and requires some focus, but it pulls them away from just sitting there worrying. Other people prefer listening to calming music, watching a favorite TV show or movie. Just avoid one that is scary or stressful, reading, painting, or writing. Sometimes, simply petting your cat or drinking a cup of tea helps. Just make sure you pick a low-stress activity to pull your thoughts away from the source of your anxiety.
Take a cold shower or an ice plunge. If you're experiencing particularly intense anxiety, says Seelan, some psychiatrists have a relatively extreme and unpleasant way to snap you back to reality. You can fill a large bowl with cold water, throw some ice cubes in, and dunk your face in the water for 30 seconds. Is it extreme? Yes. But it also works. This technique triggers your mammalian dive reflex, explains Seelan. It tricks your body into thinking you're swimming, so your heart rate slows, and your body becomes calmer. If you don't feel like doing something this extreme, you can achieve a similar calming effect by jumping in a cold shower or going swimming. Another option that works, and that some dialectical behavior therapists use, is to place your hand or foot in cold water for a minute or so. You could also hold an ice cube until it melts in your hand. Reduce anxiety with long-term changes. There are some things you can do to improve your overall mental health and reduce your stress, which might help reduce anxiety symptoms. Identifying triggers. The best way to do this is to keep a diary. Write down when you feel anxious and what you think caused the anxious episode. List these things out to identify what is outside your control and focus on the things that are within your control, says Straighten. For example, if you know that social interactions with a specific person tend to trigger your anxiety, make a note of that. Then, consider focusing on these questions. What makes me anxious about this situation? Are they going to judge me? Am I judging them? Even if they were judging me, how would that really affect me? Would preparing this interaction help me feel less anxious? E.g., what you're going to say or how you're going to say it. When individuals have a plan, they feel in control of the perceived future threat that is the trigger of anxiety, explains Straighten.
Self-care routines. Consider taking a routine that makes time for you to do calming or pleasurable activities. This can be taking a 30-minute walk or a nightly bath before bed. It can also mean carving out time for meditation, yoga, and your favorite hobbies, whether that's reading, painting, or doing the Sunday crossword. It can even mean making time for play, such as playing video games, board games, or team sports. It may be advisable to skip any high-impact exercise within 2 hours of bedtime. Play is important to adults too because it gives your brain a break, says Emily Stone, a marriage and family therapist based in Austin, Texas. Play helps your brain be more flexible in its thinking, which is important because anxiety promotes rigidity of the brain. She adds, play tells your brain and body, things aren't so bad. You are safe enough to stop and enjoy life. Your brain and body are listening to what you tell it through your activity. Communicate that life is worth stopping and enjoying. Regular exercise. If you live with anxiety, you may feel at times that you don't have time or energy to go to the gym or out for a walk. It's natural to feel this way. However, exercise can do a world of good in reducing anxiety. And you don't need a ton of exercise to begin seeing the effects. A simple 20-minute daily walk is all that is needed to see a change over time, says Stone. It is good for your mind and body. It provides bilateral stimulation to your brain. It gives your mind a chance to go offline, and it tells your body that it is safe to relax and enjoy the environment. Practice good sleep hygiene. Try to go to sleep and wake up at the same time every day, weekends included. Your routine before going to bed also matters. Consider giving yourself wind-down times. For example, 20 minutes with no devices. Instead, you could read a book or take a bath. Avoiding potential triggers, like watching TV or scrolling the news on your phone, is key. Creating a sleep routine will help you fall asleep faster and reduce the chances that you'll lie awake, worrying about unfinished tasks or the next morning.
Humor. Just like thinking about something funny when you're having an anxiety episode, working humor into your daily life can help you lower anxiety and stress, according to Sultanov. Consider these. Sign up for joke newsletters. Read or watch cartoons. Watch sitcoms and funny videos. Hang out with people who make you laugh. Hanging out with friends. Relationships matter, even for us introverts, says Stone. Research also tells us that isolating is one of the worst things for anxiety and depression. So, consider making time for friends, family, and other social engagements. Put yourself in social situations at least weekly as a part of your self-discipline to help you build community over time, says Stone. Consider therapy. If you experience regular anxiety, it may be a good idea to consider therapy. Therapy can be an important ongoing part of a person's life when they have jobs or relationship situations that bring chronic stress, says Stone. A good therapist will be able to help you think through your options, establish boundaries, improve communication, practice emotional regulation, and promote brain flexibility with approaches. What type of psychotherapy you choose is entirely up to you. You could consider setting up consultations with a few therapists to explore rapport and chemistry, for example. Some of the therapy approaches you could consider include cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, dialectical behavioral therapy, DBT, internal family systems, IFS, emotional freedom therapy with tapping, EFT, eye movement desensitization reprocessing, EMDR, virtual reality exposure therapy.
When to seek immediate care. Sometimes, anxiety can be overwhelming and it could lead you to experience great distress. This is natural and not uncommon. A therapist can help you find more effective ways to manage these emotions. If your anxiety is persistent and intrusive, consider seeking the help of a professional. You can also check out our free anxiety quiz to find out whether what you're experiencing might be something more. Let's recap. If you're feeling anxious, there are things you can do to help yourself calm down quickly. There are also lifestyle changes you can make that can help lower your stress levels and help you cope with potential triggers. You might also find it helpful to talk to a therapist. Best natural options for anxiety relief. Prescription medications are sometimes offered to help people cope with anxiety, but if you're looking for something natural, you have options. There are home remedies you can try. Even though it sounds like every natural option is safe, it's always a good idea to discuss these options with a healthcare professional. That way, they can guide you in terms of frequency and also potential interactions with any other remedies or medications you may be taking. Not all natural remedies for anxiety work for everyone. You may find some more effective than others in your particular situation. Also, in some cases, they may help calm anxiety symptoms only when combined with other treatment options. It depends on many factors. How to calm anxiety naturally. If you live with anxiety, there are natural options you can try to lower your stress levels and improve your coping skills. Some of these natural remedies for anxiety will involve herbs and supplements, but most may include changes in some of your routines and habits. When it comes to supplements, it's highly advisable to check with your healthcare professional for contraindications, side effects, and drug interactions trusted source. It's also important to remember that there are many supplements and natural products, like passionflower trusted source, that may have limited evidence to back up their purported benefits. They may work for some people, while others won't see any results from taking them. Here are some options to help relieve anxiety naturally that have worked for many people.
Exercise. You've heard it before, and this is because it actually works. Physical activity has multiple health benefits. Whether it's going for a walk around the block or going for a mile run, research suggests exercise helps reduce symptoms of anxiety, particularly when combined with psychotherapy and in some cases, with medication. How does exercise help anxiety? For one, it helps distract your mind from anxious thoughts. More importantly, physical activity boosts endorphins, which are unofficially known as the happy hormones. Endorphins are natural pain relievers and also boost pleasure. They can help you sleep better and have a positive outlook, which in turn, may help to regulate anxiety symptoms. If vigorous exercise isn't your thing, you can try yoga, which has also been shown to reduce stress trusted source, anxiety, and depression. Cut back on the caffeine. Caffeine is a stimulant, and if you have anxiety, it can make you feel more on edge. It may also cause some physical symptoms like increased heartbeat and shaking, which could make you think you're experiencing a panic attack. Research also shows that, in some people living with mental health disorders, caffeine may also increase anxiety symptoms. If you are used to drinking large amounts of caffeine, it may be a good idea to slowly limit this intake to avoid symptoms of withdrawal that are common if you go cold turkey. Limit or cease smoking. Nicotine and other chemicals in cigarette smoke have been shown to alter pathways in your brain that are linked to anxiety. A 2013 study trusted source also suggested that the earlier you start smoking in life, the higher your chance of developing an anxiety disorder later. Laugh more. Humor and laughter can have a lot of benefits for your physical and mental health,
including reducing your stress and anxiety levels. Laughter and humor may help you reduce levels of stress hormones, including cortisol, dopamine, and epinephrine. At the same time, it may boost the production of endorphins. Laughter also increases the number of antibody-producing cells and helps bring your focus back to the present. This could take your mind off of intrusive, anxious thoughts about the future. In fact, laughter therapy has been shown trusted source to calm anxiety naturally.
Vitamin D. When you don't get enough vitamin D, your serotonin levels dip. Serotonin is a mood-boosting hormone that can make you feel calmer and more focused. Studies have suggested that vitamin D deficiency could be linked to anxiety disorders, as well as depression. You may want to discuss testing options with a healthcare professional, just to check on your current blood levels. The best way to boost your vitamin D levels is to spend some time outdoors. You could aim for 15 to 30 minutes of midday sunlight, at least 4 times per week if possible. It's a good idea to use sunscreen to prevent sunburn. This won't affect your vitamin D production. Other natural ways to increase vitamin D include eating fatty fish, mushrooms, and fortified foods. Drink tea. Chamomile and lavender are 2 teas known for their anxiety-easing benefits. Chamomile is often called a mild tranquilizer and sleep inducer because it has an antioxidant called apigenin trusted source. Apigenin is believed to bind to receptors in your brain, which may decrease anxiety trusted source and help you sleep. For centuries, lavender has been used as a natural remedy for reducing anxiety trusted source and calming nerves trusted source. Numerous other studies trusted source have shown that lavender is also effective at reducing symptoms of anxiety, agitation and restlessness, sleep disturbances, nervousness, symptoms of depression. Check levels of magnesium. Magnesium is an important mineral in the human body. It plays a role in more than 300 enzyme reactions and helps maintain muscle and nerve function, blood pressure, and the immune system. It's also one of the minerals that many Americans do not get enough trusted source of in their diet. There have also been several studies that have found that magnesium supplements can help reduce anxiety symptoms, including those related to PMS. Like with vitamin D, you may want to check your current magnesium levels before supplementing. You can get magnesium naturally by eating whole wheat, black beans, spinach, quinoa, almonds, cashews, dark chocolate. You can also take supplements, but you may want to talk with a healthcare professional first. Some supplements may cause side effects like drowsiness and diarrhea. A professional may be able to tell you what the best form of magnesium is for you and how much to take to prevent side effects.
Omega-3 fatty acids. Omega-3 fats play an important role in your brain's overall health trusted source, but your body doesn't make them on its own. Instead, you get all your omega-3 fatty acids through your diet by eating foods such as fish or flaxseed. Research, including a 2018 meta-analysis trusted source and a 2018 review study, found that omega-3 in the form of fish oil supplements could help ease anxiety. If you're considering taking omega-3 supplements, you may want to mention this to your healthcare team. They can sometimes interfere with certain prescription medications, such as blood thinners. They may not be recommended for people with certain medical conditions. L-theanine supplements. L-theanine is an amino acid found in green or black tea. There is some evidence to suggest it's a mild sedative or anti-anxiety agent, which can help lower your stress response and cortisol levels. Vitamin B complex. B vitamins are a group of 8 different nutrients that work together in your body to manage body processes, including the stress response. Most people can get enough of these vitamins through various foods, but if you're a vegetarian or vegan, you might have a harder time getting vitamins B12 and B2, riboflavin. A 2017 study trusted source found that people with low blood levels of vitamin B12 were more likely to have anxiety or depression symptoms. This is why you may want to consider supplementing these vitamins. There are different types of B vitamin supplements in the market. A healthcare professional may be able to guide you as to which could work better for your anxiety symptoms. You could also consider consuming foods that are fortified with these vitamins. Marmite and Vegemite, for example, both contain B vitamins, and one study found that people who ate them had lower stress and anxiety. CBD oil. If you live in an area where it is legal, you may want to consider CBD oil. Cannabidiol, CBD, is a derivative of the cannabis plant, but it lacks tetrahydrocannabinol, THC, the substance that affects your senses. As a result, CBD oil may help calm you down because it is believed to interact with receptors in your nervous system, altering serotonin signals in your body, kind of like SSRIs do. So far, research suggests it could reduce anxiety and panic symptoms, helping people manage their anxiety disorders. Still, you might want to discuss CBD with your healthcare professional before self-medicating.
Complementary therapies for anxiety relief. Western medicine and psychotherapy may be popular options for managing anxiety disorders, but there is evidence that other interventions work too. Here are some complementary therapies that might work to calm anxiety naturally. Animal therapy. Petting animals isn't just fun for animal lovers. There's evidence that having a pet or spending time with animals does lower anxiety levels and improve mental health. A 2018 study trusted source found animal therapy helped older adults feel less anxious. Also, a 2015 study trusted source found that the sensory experience of petting a dog can cause your body to release oxytocin, which improves your stress levels and well-being. Petting dogs have also been shown for decades to lower people's heart rates, while having a pet dog has been shown to reduce stress and anxiety. Trusted source in children and adults. Another 2015 study trusted source found that grooming and spending time with horses can lower anxiety and stress associated with trauma. The animals don't have to be furry either to lower anxiety. One 2015 study trusted source found that caring for crickets improved older people's mental health. Aromatherapy. Aromatherapy uses fragrant essential oils to promote wellness. Some oils can be inhaled directly or put on your skin, while others can be added to a bath or diffuser for optimal results. There is some research to back up the effectiveness of aromatherapy in helping people relax, sleep, and reduce their heart rate and blood pressure, particularly when using certain scents like lavender. However, research is still limited on the efficacy and safety of essential oils. The National Association for Holistic Aromatherapy recommends these scents for anxiety reduction: lavender, clary sage, neroli, chamomile, rose. If you decide to try aromatherapy, it's a good idea to remember: the FDA doesn't regulate essential oils. It's advisable to use a carrier oil if applying essential oils topically. You also want to patch test on your skin. It's recommended to talk with a healthcare professional before ingesting any oils because many are toxic.
Mindfulness. Mindfulness-based stress reduction, MBSR, is a healing approach developed in the 1970s that combines meditation and yoga. It aims to address the unconscious thoughts, feelings, and behaviors that may contribute to you feeling stressed. MBSR has over 40 years of evidence supporting its effectiveness for managing anxiety, explains Dawn Straighten, Doctor of Nursing Practice and faculty member at Walden University. Research shows that we can build individual resilience by learning how to solve problems, regulate our emotions, and be more mindful. According to a 2009 study trusted source, mindfulness-focused practices may calm anxiety and also increase empathy. Other studies have shown it might even prevent depression and help you sleep better. Hypnotherapy. There are many reasons why a therapist may use hypnosis as part of your treatment. For one, it may help you reach a relaxed state. It may also help you process some life events that could be associated with your anxiety symptoms. Some research suggests that hypnotherapy can help relieve stress, fear, and anxiety symptoms. It can also help people cope with the symptoms of a panic disorder. It's often used to help treat people with agoraphobia, for example. Acupuncture. Acupuncture is an ancient practice that involves inserting needles into pressure points in your body. It's long been a popular alternative treatment for anxiety. There is some evidence that it works, too. For example, a 2015 study trusted source found that acupuncture improved symptoms of generalized anxiety disorder in people who didn't respond to other treatments. However, there is still limited research on how acupuncture helps anxiety symptoms. You may need to try it out for yourself to see if it helps you. Forest bathing. also known as Shinrin-yoku, forest bathing has been around since the 1980s as preventive medicine for depression, anxiety, inflammation, and other health concerns. Forest bathing involves spending time outdoors and observing nature closely while you practice breathing and focusing exercises. Research has shown that this therapy may lower your heart rate, lower blood pressure, improve your mood, alleviate stress and depression, decrease fatigue and anxiety. Trusted source. Even if you don't have a lot of time to spend outside, you could still feel the benefits, according to research. As little as 10 minutes in a natural setting can reduce your stress levels. Let's recap. If you're looking to calm anxiety naturally, there are lots of things you can do. Consider making some basic changes to your habits, such as trying to get lots of sleep, trying to exercise as much and as often as possible, working on including certain foods in your diet. Some supplements might also work for anxiety reduction. Complementary therapies have also proven effective as natural treatments for anxiety. Consider talking with a healthcare professional before using any over-the-counter supplements or trying any alternative therapies that haven't been well studied or researched to make sure you're not harming your overall health.